daylight savings time is coming up, like next weekend. So if you're an online teacher, you're probably wondering how our time change is going to affect your online teaching schedule. So I'm going to show you my schedule and what it looks like now, and then I'm going to show you what it's going to look like as our time changes. Hey there, I'm Allison from OnlineTeacherAllison.com, where stay-at-home parents learn how to teach online so they can earn an income from home. Hello from my new home office. If things look weird, it's because I've been in here 2 days and I'm still not quite sure how I want everything set up. And I don't really know where to look on the camera again. So sorry. I will be doing a video walkthrough on the things we did to make my closet, hello from my closet, our home office, but that's not this week, so just stick around. If you're new here and wondering why I moved home offices, it's because we are expecting baby number 2. So we needed room for the nursery. We are expecting baby to be here in about a month. I know, baby's coming early. If you want more on that, check this video because I go in I go in more detail on it. And I'm also going to film another one because I've also been to another appointment since I filmed that. But I also have another appointment in 2 weeks. So I'm just waiting for that one. All right. So I'm not going to talk about baby today. We're just going to talk about daylight savings time. So if you take a look at my schedule here, this is VIP Kid. So yours is going to probably look a little different depending on where you're teaching. So with VIP Kid, most of the students are in China. So this is Beijing time that this is reflected on. But if you look on my schedule, you're going to see right now, before we spring forward, the peak time for classes are, for me in Central Time Zone, 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. Those are the best times to pick up classes. Now, does that mean you can't get classes outside of those 3 hours? No, you can get classes outside of it. It's just there's not as many. So it is harder to get them. But if you're consistent, you have a pretty decent shot of picking up a couple. I have been opening slots on VIP Kid this is my 2nd week. So it's not a good, you can see here I have some slots open from 7 to 8. And they're not booked, but it's also not a good representation of whether or not you can get it because I have not been consistent with VIP Kid. I decided that since baby was coming and we needed to buy stuff and we weren't quite making it, I was going to open some slots and also use it to try to pay down some credit card debt before baby gets here and I'm on maternity leave for the rest of the school year. So this is not a good representation of the bookings you can make right now, but if you're looking to get started again, yeah, that's a good representation. Okay, so this is before we spring forward. Now, if I show you, you can see the DST right here. That's when time changes overnight on Sunday. So when we move over to the next week, you're going to see that the peak hours changed. We sprung forward, so the peak hours also sprung forward. So now they are from 5 to 8 a.m. for me in the Central Time Zone. Obviously, plus or minus a few for you, depending on where you are in the States and what time zone you're in. But you're going to notice that my schedule shifted. So now I have more slots available within the peak hours. Now again, not a good representation of classes because I haven't been consistent and I don't plan on being consistent. I'm only working until baby comes and we will know the date in a couple weeks. So I also turned off Tuesday. Tuesdays I would usually work, but that Monday night my husband and I are going to a concert and I forgot about it, which is why that one snuck in there. I'm hoping they cancel. If they don't, at least it's at 7:30 in the morning. So you're going to notice that my peak hours sprung forward with me. So if you are teaching somewhere that does not observe daylight savings time, like a different country, then your hours will fluctuate plus or minus an hour to accommodate that. Now, if you are teaching, like say you're teaching out school or something, and those students observe daylight savings time with you, then absolutely nothing is going to change with your schedule. Your new 10 a.m. is their new 10 a.m. They just moved hours with you. So you don't need to worry about anything. So that is one of the downsides to teaching ESL, is most other countries don't observe daylight savings time. So you do have to make a decision. You have to decide if you're going to wake up an hour earlier to accommodate those missing peak slots, or if you're just going to cut your losses for 6 months. I used to wake up early. Right now, I am of the mindset of, forget it, I'm cutting my losses. Couple reasons for that. One is VIP Kid is not my primary income anymore. I do teach with a different platform who they hire teachers. So they pay like double what VIP Kid pays. So I don't need all the money as badly from VIP Kid. I can make it up with my other job by picking up another class or by saying, forget it. That's one of the reasons. Another one is when peak time, like right now, when it starts at 4 a.m., there's just something about that alarm going off at 3:50 and 3:55 that I cannot do. I already have my husband's alarm going off at 3:15. I don't want mine to go off at 3:50. Like, that's just insanity. So I choose to cut my losses. I don't teach that extra hour. Used to, not anymore. Not about that life. But if you are just getting started, it might be a good idea to, for a month or two, or for that 6 months, and then you cut your losses, because then you should have a loyal base of regulars, most of whom will continue booking you, or hopefully will come back when the time change rolls back around. So when you're talking about the time change, if we fall back, it's going to be the same thing. So in my screenshots, I'm not going to tab all the way forward to hit fall. I'm just going to swap these pictures around. So don't pay attention to the numbers if I can't cut them off. But that's what's going to happen. So right now, it's spring. Yay. We're ready to be done with tornado season for me. My peak hours are from 5 to 8 a.m. But it's fall. The leaves are beginning to change. Pumpkins, everything, right? We're about to fall back. We gain that extra hour of sleep. Yay. But not if you're an online ESL teacher. If you're an online ESL teacher, you're going to notice that your peak hours move back with you. So instead of your peak hours starting at, in my case, 5, it's going to start at 4. So what is your decision? Are you going to wake up and teach that extra hour? Because you have goals. You have money goals. You need time to yourself. You want to take a trip. You want to pay off bills. You want to send your kid to college. You want to afford food in this outrageous economy. Whatever your goals are, you need to teach that hour. Do it. That is why I opened up more classes, because I wanted to pay off some debt and I want to afford a few more things for baby's nursery. I will give you a walkthrough on that once it's more complete. We just have the bare basics in there right now. We have the crib, the dresser, and the chair. That's about it. I don't have any of the wallpaper or the bookshelf, which I still want, or the wall decorations. Like, it's not done. And baby's coming early, which is why it's not done and why we're rushing. And I go into that in that video I mentioned earlier. So if you're interested, but you have a choice to make. What is your choice? Are you going to bump back with them, or are you going to prioritize your sleep? Once upon a time, I did not prioritize my sleep. Did not feel human. I feel much more myself now that I am prioritizing sleep again. With VIP Kid, I used to stay up until like midnight, like 3 years ago when I was doing this, and still try to get up and teach at like 4 or 5 a.m. because my husband at that time was teaching nights, and otherwise we were just like two ships passing in the night, right? Like, he'd come home and go to bed, and I'd get up and do VIP Kid. And so the only time we got to spend with each other was overnight. and I was a zombie. Now that he's working in the daytime and he's up at 3 in the morning, he's up before me, I can actually go to bed with him or after him and get so much more sleep. So depends on your family's schedule too. So for me right now, could I get up at 4? Yeah, but I'm also in my 3rd trimester and exhausted, so I don't. All right, I hope you're having the greatest week ever. Stick around for my house rearranging and the nursery reveal, and also the final update on my dang placenta and probably my impending hysterectomy. I was supposed to have an appointment with the surgeons tomorrow, and they rescheduled, and then I scheduled wrong, so I got to reschedule the reschedule. I hope you're having the greatest week ever, and we'll chat soon. Bye.